The dead don't come back. When I was a little girl, maybe 4 or 5, I remember my mom patiently explaining this to me. As we buried my pet hamster in the backyard, I was crying because I was confused. Why was Num Num sleeping for so long? Why wasn't he waking up? Why had my mom insist we make him a cute bed of paper towels and spare fabric and flowers and bury him in a shoebox by the dread dolls? How could he see? How could he breathe? You see, Samantha, Mom said, sometimes when animals get very sick or very old, they go to sleep and never wake up again. Never? I asked sniffling. Never. She took my hand, and together we said goodbye to Num Num. I began to shove dirt on top of him. I still didn't know why we were saying goodbye. I still don't understand how something could sleep for so long. Or forever. Even when I was really tired, I woke up again, eventually. But what if he's different, I asked. What if he's really just sleeping? He's not coming back, Pumpkin. He's dead now, and the dead don't come back. I swallowed. Things clicked far too quick in my too young brain. Do people die too? I asked. She paused. I remember the way she looked at me, like she was trying to figure out whether to tell me the truth. I could feel tearing on the edge of something fast and trying in that moment, and her answer would either pull me back to safety or push me over the edge. Yes, she finally said. People do die too. And just like Num Num, they don't come back. I thought for years she decided to tell me the truth. Only now I realized that it was a lie, because when I pushed Rachel into the lake, she didn't come back up. I knew she was dead. She wasn't coming back. Except the next day, she did. Wednesday is not going my way, and I know just who is going to pay for it. I still have my parents arguing, ringing in my ears. When I get to school, all morning they've been fighting. Not just each other and how they both work too much. That was they usually spend breakfast fighting about. But because I failed a spelling test. One stupid spelling test. Now they refuse to take me on a day trip to Rocky River Adventure Park this Saturday, like they promised. All because I misspelled a few words like possession and allergy. Who needs to know how to spell those? Anyway, I always have my phone and that can fix spelling for me, as if I'd ever even use any of the spelling words in the first place. So no theme park for me. My so-called friends will be going because their parents aren't jerks like mine. And I'm sure I'll hear all about how amazing it is on Monday. All I get to look forward is this weekend of doing homework while my parents continue to argue downstairs. My sister plays video games with her friends. And none of it is fair because it's not really my fault that I didn't have time to study for the spelling test. I've been too busy writing the essay that Rachel was supposed to do for me. She let me down again. It's her fault. All of this is her fault. And I'm going to make sure it's the last time. I stomped through the school's front doors and down the hallway, and it must be pretty clear that I'm angry. Kids actually step away from me, parting and going quiet as I pass, hoping they wouldn't be the latest victim of my ward. I shoved past a few of them, knocked books out of a nerd's hand, another kid into his friends, no different from my normal entrance. But the truth is, I can barely see them. They're not worth my time, let alone my anger. Rachel is. I see her at the locker. Before she ever sees me, short and pretty with long black hair and perfect skin and big blue eyes. I'm tall and have the same black hair, but my skin is far from perfect, and some kids used to make fun of me for it until I started pushing back and proving I was someone you could make wasn't someone you could make fun of. Now the only bully in the school is me. You, I growl when I reach her locker. I slam it shut to embrace my point. She jumps back with a yelp and clutches her sketchbook into her chest, and both hands, eyes wide and lip already shivering like a baby's. She knows that I'm in a bad mood, and it's clear she knows then it's worse than all the rest. Shut up, I say. Do you have any idea what you've done? She shudders. Because of you and your stupid little pea brain, my parents are taking me to the adventure park this weekend. You're supposed to write my essay. You did, but you didn't. And because of you, I couldn't study for the spelling test. It's your fault I failed, and you're going to pay for it. I want to shove her against the locker, but I held myself back, partly because I know she just started crying, and partly because I see our principal, Miss Detmenter. Out of the corner of my eye, she was watching us. I don't need to get detention again. The last thing I needed is to be grounded. I lower my voice. I'm going to get you back for this. I look her into the eyes. She looks at her feet. If I have to suffer, so will you. Now hand it over. She nods. She doesn't ask what I want or what I mean. She already knows. We have this down to an art. Almost a symbiotic relationship, a situation where both parties benefit from the other's skills. I learned that term in science. In this case, it means I don't be hurt up and she does my homework and pays for my lunch. It wasn't always like this. We used to be friends, best friends. Used to. I can't even really imagine it anymore. I guess we were friends when we were both younger, weaker, and now I'm no longer weak. She taught me that friendship is an ultimate weakness. Friends can hurt you. Friends can make your whole life miserable if they know everything about you. And from her betrayal, I grew strong. I used the lesson against her because she deserved all that and more. Am I using her? Sure. But it's the only way. But it's only use she has in her school. Otherwise, she's nothing. I make sure of it. She opens her locker again. She takes a second since she has to enter her code and pulls out a folder. I flip it open and check. But she wasn't disappointing me on this, at least. She knows not to let me down again. The social studies homework we got yesterday is done, along with the math practice sheets. And there, in the front pocket, is the $5 she gives me every day for lunch. I never asked where she gets the money. Probably her parents. They're loaded. They even have a pool in their backyard. Perfect. Rachel. And her perfect life. Her perfect useless life. She could give me $1 million if she still owed me. I snapped the folder shut and slammed her locker closed again. I missed her fingers barely. Gotta keep her a little scared. Tears well in her eyes. I don't say anything, but I turn and stomp down the hall to my locker. I shoved into another kid on the way, making her drop her bag. Her books and homework scattered all over the floor. Mr. Manor calls out to me, but I'm already around the corner and I know he won't follow me. He's a little scared of me too. He should be. They all should be.